1 month after Hamas launched its deadly attack against Israel, Kfar Aza, kibbutz about 5 kilometers east from Gaza, stands empty, and the smell of death in some of the houses is impossible to ignore. At least 52 residents of this kibbutz, whole families in some cases, including babies, were murdered in their homes. Burnt-out, bullet-riddled buildings were marked by the IDF as they secured the area following the attack, while a volunteer group, Zaka, collected the bodies of the victims, leaving somber markings in Hebrew, such as this one, warning of human remains on the couch, where one of the Israeli victims threw himself on a grenade tossed by Hamas to save his girlfriend.
And now we also reached this neighborhood, which is called the Dol Tzayir, or the young neighborhood. These are mostly young people with stabbed. And from this neighborhood, I think maybe only 1 or 2 people survived. Almost everyone in this block of these 20, 30 houses, which are mostly young people living on their own as couples, have been murdered. Many of them also been abducted, many have been murdered.
For the past month, these streets have seen mainly soldiers, reporters and newsmakers coming to witness the aftermath of the massacre, and Zaka volunteers trying to collect every fragment of bodies for burial. Volunteer Simcha Greineman says nobody was prepared to see the brutality of war inside people's homes.
You come, you see children, adults, people that are sick, laying in bed, they can't run away, and they got stabbed or killed in different ways, in brutal ways. People ask me, did you see beheaded children? Oh, did you see beheaded adults? I collected bodies without heads. I collected heads without bodies. I collected children that were stabbed in different brutal ways.
This area is currently a closed military zone. Local residents who were evacuated to safer towns need a special permit to get in. The sound of cannon fire reminds people of the Israeli military operation in Gaza just a few kilometers away. Meanwhile, the families of the 17 hostages held by Hamas from this community are still waiting to hear about their loved ones' fates. Yet there is also a question of what will happen to the area next. Surveys are being conducted among the surviving residents, asking them if they want to go back, under what conditions, and what needs to be done to restore a feeling of security. The scale and brutality of the Hamas attack took the Israel Defense Forces by surprise, and details revealed since have pushed Israel to rethink assumptions about Gaza.
They had a plan, and I've seen maps, I've seen what they were meant to do. They knew exactly where to go to.
Hanan Dan says he knows that if he comes back to Kfar Aza, things won't be the same. Dan says what many kibbutz residents thought about Gaza blew up in their face.
The fact that they actually came out and did this and slaughtered us at the expense of their own people. They should have known what's going to happen later. They just didn't care. They don't care. It's like death for them at any cost. And for us, it's clear now that the city of Gaza and Hamas regime is just something which at all cost must be removed. This is not something we can live with.
Dan says his family was lucky on October 7. Their house on the edge of the kibbutz remained intact, and the Israeli army rescued them about 20 hours after the Hamas attack. Yet, like many others from Kfar Aza, he is not ready yet to say if he wants to return. For the world, he says, it may be just another war in the Middle East. For him, these were his friends and neighbors killed.
This place is so full of blood, and I'm not sure about. It's a question which is still too big for me and still too big for everybody.
The harvest for the season is mostly gone. The lifeline for the cattle farms these days are volunteers that come in to feed and milk the cows. Even residents who are eager to come back to their animals and fields say first they want to be sure there is no more Hamas to threaten them from Gaza. Natasha Mozgovaya, VOA News, Kfar Aza, Israel.